This is the Soul-Filled Sisterhood podcast, and I'm your host, Nicole Burgess, licensed marriage and family therapist and an empowerment mentor for women. The information shared in this podcast is not a substitute, nor is it to convey professional, psychological, financial, or medical advice. If you could use such services, please seek them out from someone you trust. Now here is today's episode. Episode 49. Today's episode is sponsored by Nicole Burgess, empowerment coach and life coach to the high-achieving and sensitive female entrepreneurs. In today's episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about loving yourself, a meditation, and how meditation can actually do a lot of calming fears and worries. A few months back, one of my listeners, and again, ladies, feel free to write me if there are certain topics you want to hear or what resonated with you. I love to hear from you all. Anyways, this person wrote to me asking about some clarification from an episode that I had talked about highly sensitive persons with another guest. And we talked quite a bit about self-love and needing to love yourself. And there was a question about, are you unable to receive love? If you don't really love yourself so much, there's others that were in this person's life that they could really love them. And my response was, yes, we can. One, it's really helpful. If we have healthy people in our life, if they mirror back full acceptance of who we are, where we are, they can role model that love that we see in them towards us. And at the same time, if you do not like who you are as a human being, or there's a lot of shame that comes up, it can actually block you from receiving that love from others. So if you go back when I was talking to Dr. Terry Mack, we were talking about decoding our own kind of messages and then who we bring into our life for like love relationships. This is another way of that. If I don't believe I'm worth anything, if I don't believe that I am truly lovable or capable of loving, really similar to what Brene Brown talks about, I am not going to be able to bring people into my life if I'm not coming from that heart-centered place. If I don't change those messages that I am telling myself, I'm not changing those thought processes, I'm still pulling from old limited beliefs, I'm going to have many people in my life that I'm only going to either A, allow to love me to a certain depth, or B, that really aren't capable of loving all of me. There's going to be judgment there. So in today's conversation or in today's podcast episode, I want to talk about, again, taking that time for yourself to really get to know who you are right now in this moment, to accept all your flaws, because we all have them. As Brene Brown talks about, you're perfectly imperfect, which is so true. We all are. Life is just messy at times. And when you can have love for yourself, you are literally opening up your own world to all kinds of beautiful opportunities, ways to view the world differently, where you can truly respond to things versus react to things. And the loving kindness meditation, which has been around for a long, long time, actually can help with that. And I talk quite a bit about meditation with my clients because meditation research has shown over and over how it actually grows the gray matter in your brain, again, which helps you become more responsive versus reactive to things. It helps you observe things from a different view versus being in it and judging it. It helps you become more mindful in the ordinary moments of life, which then can actually improve your amount of joy you bring in your life. Instead of guarding against what, the worst thing that's going to happen, you just allow the joy to be there. And the joy can be fleeting, yet you start to recognize that more and more. So the loving kindness meditation is also called Metta Bhavana, if I pronounce that right. And it's a method of developing compassion. It's like self-compassion. It comes from a Buddhist tradition, but again, it can be adapted and practiced by anyone, regardless of your religious affiliation. And it's essentially about truly cultivating love for yourself and for the world. It is unconditional. It doesn't depend on whether one, quote, deserves it or not. It's not restricted to friends and family. It extends out from the personal categories that include all living beings. There is no expectations of anything in return. And I think often as humans, I know I can be guilty of this at times where I stick an expectation out on somebody. They have no idea I placed that on them. And if I'm not mindful of that and they don't behave in the way that I expect them to, then there's the frustration or disappointment. And in this meditation, it's like I freely give of love and I'm fully grounded in that moment. And again, it's growing my heart muscle and being very heart-centered to putting that out into the world. And again, ladies, remember, everything we do has a ripple effect. It can be the positive ripple or it could be a not so positive ripple. And this brings that ripple back to you of how you are expanding and you are building that compassion for yourself and for others. So this is like the ideal where, there's no expectations in return. It's pure love, which everyone has within them. We begin first with loving ourselves because, as I said, if we don't love ourselves and accept ourselves, it makes it really difficult for that to extend to others. The loving kindness is without any desire to possess another. It's not sentimental feeling of goodwill. It's not an obligation, but it comes from a very selfless place. It also doesn't depend on relationships. It doesn't depend on how others even feel about us. There are 5 groups or areas that you can focus on during this meditation. 1, it's yourself. We start there. And they call it like a benefactor, somebody else, a beloved friend or a family member, a neutral person, and then a difficult person. You can use 3 or 4 phrases with each person. I'm going to kind of explain how to do it first, and then there's going to be some information on my show notes that you can go out to and read through them as well. So how to do it is, again, some sample phrases. Pick 3 or 4 that you're going to repeat. May I be free from inner and outer harm and danger. May I be safe and protected. May I be free of mental suffering or distress. May I be healthy and strong. May I be free from danger. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May my mind be healed. May I make friends with my body. May I dwell in peace. May I be at ease. May I be free from pain. Again, pick 3 or 4 of those phrases and you're going to use that throughout. And then after you try out some of these phrases, like I said, settle into that. And your intention is to really cultivate the kindness and well wishes towards yourself and others. Remember, as you begin to practice this, feel free to adjust any phrase that is not working for you. There's no right or wrong in this. Traditionally, the loving kindness phrases are directed at 5 different groups of people, like I said. And when you're beginning this type of practice, it's totally okay just to begin with yourself. You can build your meditation to include all 5 groups of people. And before I go into that, I want to talk a little bit just about your body position. So in most meditations, if it's like a sitting meditation, you want to actually sit with, your back straight, your feet on either the floor if you're sitting in a chair, or if they're crossed like lotus style, kind of crossed over on a cushion. You want to make sure that your posture is also relaxed and comfortable. You can close your eyes, relax your whole body, and keep your eyes closed throughout the whole visualization and just bring your awareness inward. It's without straining or concentrating. Just relax and gently follow the instructions. So if you're driving, please don't do this while you're driving. You can come back and re-listen to this. But if you have gotten a space where you now can just sit quietly, again, sitting on a chair, sitting on a cushion where your spine is straight and yet your body is relaxed, just begin to focus around your solar plexus, your chest area, or like I said earlier, your heart center. Sometimes people will actually put their hand on their heart just to stay very focused there. Breathe in and out from that area, as if you were breathing from the heart center, as if all experience is happening from there. Anchor your mindfulness only on the sensations at your heart center. Breathing in and out from the heart center. Begin by generating this kind feeling toward yourself. Feel any areas of mental blockage, self-judgment, or self-hatred. Then gently drop beneath that to the place where you care for yourself, where you want strength and health and safety for yourself. Then first repeat the phrases, directing them just at yourself. I know some may feel that others are more worthy of their loving thoughts, and other people may find it hard to be kind to themselves because they've become their own harshest critics. That only serves to increase their suffering and sadness. So if you struggle with these negative judgments about yourself, remember your mind is soft and changeable. We've talked about that before. This means that you can transform it from critic to ally. Begin to fill your mind with thoughts of kindness, friendliness, and love for yourself. Repeat your phrases even if they don't feel genuine at first. They will begin to transform your heart and your mind. So repeat the following phrases out loud or silently. And again, these are the phrases that I have picked. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I be safe and protected. May I dwell in peace. I'm going to say them again. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I be safe and protected. May I dwell in peace. One more time. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I be safe and protected. May I dwell in peace. And if you would like to, you may just kind of sit in this for a few minutes and then slowly bring yourself back into the room, back into your body, and then gently open your eyes. If you would like to continue on for the other 4 groups, then stay where you are in that very heart-centered place. As I'm speaking into the microphone, I've got my hands over my heart. So the next group is sending kindness, loving kindness to a benefactor. So this is somebody that you feel really deep gratitude towards. They can be alive or somebody who has passed on. Again, repeat this out loud or silently. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you be safe and protected. May you dwell in peace. You just say the phrases again as you continue to visualize that person in your mind and your heart. Once you've done that again, then you can bring your attention over to a beloved family member or a friend. This is a person you love unconditionally, but with whom you may occasionally have a conflict. So this distinguishes the benefactor from the beloved friend or the family member. And silently say the person's name or bring an image of him or her to your mind. Then repeat the following phrases out loud or again silently. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you be safe and protected. May you dwell in peace. So as you visualize them in your mind's eye, you see them. You continue to visualize them in your mind and your heart as you repeat, may you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you be safe and protected. May you dwell in peace. Now think of someone you don't know very well and toward whom you do not have any particular feelings. Maybe it's your mail carrier. Maybe it's the coffee house person. You and this person are alike in your wish to have a good life. Send all your wishes for well-being to that person. Again, repeating the following phrases out loud or silently. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you be safe and protected. May you dwell in peace. Again, hold that person in your mind's eye and in your heart. And say it again. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you be safe and protected. May you dwell in peace. And then finally, direct your phrases to a person whose name alone can give rise to anger in you or wanting to avoid even thinking of them. It's best not to start with someone who might stir up a lot of painful emotions, so begin with the person who doesn't pose a great difficulty for you. He or she can be a family member or a friend whom you've had repeated conflicts, or even a public figure that you may disagree with. To make it easier, practice with the difficult person. You might begin by reflecting on how this person, like you, wants to have a happy life and to be at peace. So say again those phrases silently or out loud. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you be safe and protected. May you dwell in peace. Again, hold them in your mind's eye and your heart. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. And then one more deep breath in and let it out. Just notice the state of mind and how you feel after this meditation. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Feel free to do this meditation. I actually encourage people to do it at least once a day. It makes it very hard not to have your heart start to change and to open, not to change the perspective of how you view the world. Again, you don't have to do all 5 of these. You start with yourself. Really go towards that self-compassion, self-acceptance of who you are, that you are an incredible, loving human being, that you are worthy of love, and that you are so capable of loving others. And as you really work through this loving meditation, loving kindness meditation, you can then actually expand your focus to all living beings. And this part I absolutely love, because you can start really locally. You can start with your city or your community. You can then move to a state, your country, and then the world. And sometimes if you really allow your soul to speak to you, let spirit be with you, let God be with you, you can actually kind of drift to a specific country and maybe to a village or something somewhere. Don't know who these people are, and that's totally okay, or what's going on, but you can absolutely send them this love and this kindness to them. So what you can do in this piece of it is just expand your awareness and picture the whole globe in front of you as a little ball. Send warm wishes to all living beings on the globe who, like you, want to be happy. Just as I wish to, may you be happy, free from suffering, be safe and protected, and dwell in peace. Just as I wish to, may you be happy, free from suffering, be safe and protected, and dwell in peace. Just as I wish to, may you be happy, free from suffering, be safe and protected, and dwell in peace. And again, take a couple deep breaths in, exhale out through your mouth, and slowly bring your awareness back to the room and open your eyes. You can practice this with yourself. You can practice it as a family. Just start to notice how it begins to shift you as you practice this loving kindness meditation. I'm also going to encourage you, if you are liking what you're hearing, please go out to iTunes and leave me a review. You can also just do the stars, or you can actually do a written review. That really helps the podcast world kind of see how this, podcast ranks. and I'm wanting to get it really to spread out more and more globally. So I would love any of that support from you who are liking this work. And again, I will have some of these notes, kind of the phrases that I said out loud. I'll have them written down because I know some people are visual learners. I am one of those, and so I appreciate that. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you found it helpful or inspirational or even encouraging wherever you are right now in your life. If you know of another woman who may find this podcast inspirational or encouraging, please pass this along to her. I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen. Until next time, take care.